Assalamu alaikum and welcome to Future Stars Live on Hidayat TV. I'm your host Hassan Shah, and today we're going to be talking about Prophet Hud. He's not a very well-known prophet, and we hope to be talking a lot about him on today's show. Before I go in, I'd like to do what I always do on the show. First of all, introduce my guests.
Assalamu alaikum, my name is Mohsin.
Assalamu alaikum, my name is Hussain.
Assalamu alaikum, my name is Whisper.
Thank you for that introduction. Like we do on every single show, I would like to ask you, did you find a lot on this person? Because I didn't really.
No.
Did like average amount, but there should be a lot more on this personality. So we hope to get through everything that we got on today's show and give you a lot of information about this personality and this character. So I hope to give you a lot of information about his personality, his character, and so we'll get started with Prophet Hud. But like we do on every single show, I'll first say about the salawats that we do first of all, and then we're gonna Misba's gonna recite a qasida, and then Mohsin is gonna do the translation. So first of all, can we have a first salawat in honor of the Holy Prophet, peace be upon him?
Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ala Muhammad wa ajil farjum.
The second in honor of our first Imam Ali alayhi salam.
Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ala Muhammad wa ajil farjum.
The third with our loudest voices in honor of the Imam of our time, Imam Sahib al-Asri wa Saman.
Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ala Muhammad wa ajil farjum.
Okay, now Misba's going to read Surah to us all, and then Mohsin is going to read the translation. And remember, it's really important to read a surah and have the translation with it, because if you don't know the meaning, then you can't put it into your life. So can we start this off with another salawat? Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ala Muhammad wa ajil farjum.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. لإلاف قريش إلافهم رحلة الشتاء والصيف فليعبدوا رب هذا البيت الذي أطعمهم من جوع وآمنهم من خوف. صدق الله العلي العظيم.
For the taming of courage, for the taming, we call the caravan to set forth in winter and summer. So let them worship the Lord of this house, who had fed them against hunger and have made them safe from fear. Salawat.
Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ala Muhammad wa ajil farjum. Thank you, Miss Mohsin, for that surah and that translation. And remember, it's very important to have the surah and the translation both together and reciting them mostly every single day. Now we're going to go on to the first part of our show. Hussein is going to be introducing this character to us all. So could we give Hussein a loud salawat?
Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ala Muhammad wa ajil farjum. Within the deserts of Saudi Arabia was a tribe by the name of Ud. They lived in a place called Ahqaf, an area between Yemen and Oman. Almighty Allah had granted the tribe of Ud many blessings. They lived in peace and comfort. They were clever and strong Saudi Arabia, Mecca, Yemen people, and had built beautiful cities. In their tribe, no disease existed and no one got sick. Despite all the favors that Allah had granted them, the people of Ud did not believe in the one God, and instead they worshipped their stone-carved idols. When anything good happened to them, they would thank their idols, and when they were in trouble, they used to pray to these idols for help. Salawat.
Allahumma
salli ala Muhammad wa ala Muhammad wa ajil farjum.
So now we know that this tribe, Ud, this tribe, and we know they worship idols, and Allah has given them blessing after blessing. But they're not
giving him anything back.
Yeah, they're not giving him anything back by worshipping him. So So what do you think is going to happen? Allah.
Eventually, he's gonna have to set down a punishment for them.
But before that, what is he going to do to guide them?
Send down a prophet.
Yeah, he's going to send down a prophet. So that's what he's going to do. So could we start both off with Allah salawat?
Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ala Muhammad wa ajil farjuhum.
After some years, the tribe of Ahad began to lose its unity. The powerful people threatened the weak and poor members very badly. To guide these proud and ignorant people, the merciful Allah sent Prophet Hud to them as their prophet. The story of Prophet Hud starts in chapter 11, verse 50 of the Holy Quran, and we sent to the people of Ahad their brotherhood, who said, "O my people, worship Allah. You have no other God besides He. You are only investing lives. O my people, I ask no reward for it. My reward is with Him who created me. Will you not then understand?"
Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ala Muhammad wa ajil farjuhum.
So now we know the chapter and verse which his story starts from Prophet Hud. Misbah's got the next thing. Could we give Misbah a loud salawat?
Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ala Muhammad wa ajil farjuhum.
Prophet Hud alayhi salam was from the tribe of Ad itself and was respected because of his noble family and his good manners. He was the great grandson of Prophet Nuh alayhi salam. He was a very patient and kind man. He told his people not to worship idols which they had carved themselves. He told them that their idols could do nothing for them. He pleaded to them to use the mind that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala had granted them. He explained to them that there was only one God. Salawat.
Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ala Muhammad wa ajil farjuhum.
Okay, so now Allah sent down Prophet Hud. So isn't this kind of great? Because what happens if anyone's doing anything bad, because there were 124,000 prophets, and then Allah didn't like say, oh okay, we'll leave them without a guide. Well, he's not. Would you think that someone would leave us without? Because they want us to believe in Him. He wanted us to believe in Him. Would you think that He's gonna just let us figure out ourselves? No. And at that point, they were creating idols to worship. To worship. They were creating idols to worship. So Allah has given them now the chance and sent down His prophet to guide them to the right path. So there's no excuse on the Day of Judgment for these people to say that he or she was not guided on the right path. So why should he or she go to hell? So then there's no excuse for them. So Allah tightens these things to make you actually worship Him and giving the information so you can worship Him. But if you don't, then you've got no excuse. So Hussein's got the next thing. Could we give him a loud salawat?
Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ala Muhammad wa ajil farjuhum. When Allah, who had created them, given them health and wealth, and made them a powerful nation, and He reminded them of what happened to the idol worshippers during the time of Prophet Nuh. Prophet Hud tried hard to make the people understand the error of their ways, but instead of listening to him, they became more stubborn. They asked him why they should listen to him and not follow what their forefathers used to do. They told him that he was just a man like them, and a man who ate like them, who drank like them, who slept like them, and who talked like them. They even called him a liar who had lost his senses. Salawat.
Allahumma
salli ala Muhammad wa ala Muhammad wa'ajil farjahum.
So Allah has now sent a prophet down to them, and they are still not listening. They're still doing the same rules they had before. So what is your view on these? I'm going to ask each of you, what is your view on these people?
Is that they only take in perspective that what their forefathers has ever done. They're not like taking a moment out and just looking what's happening.
What do you think, Misbah?
They're thinking that the right thing to do is what their forefathers did.
They're thinking that whenever they get a blessing, they're thinking it's coming from the idols, but Allah's giving them the blessings so that they will know that it's coming from Him, not to them.
And Allah sent down this prophet and given them all these, now telling them about this, but they're still being ignorant. And this is the thing that sometimes, don't you think people, like, whatever your parents' religion is, you're
going to follow them?
You're going to follow that religion. But some people, some people don't even like check, do they actually believe in this? Like they don't even check like other things as well. Some people don't even like look around, think about what are they actually like, what are they worshipping, and what are they thinking, and what are they supposed to be doing, and looking around in other religions as well to see which one is right. And these people weren't doing that. They were just being ignorant and following their parents and their forefathers. And some people, even what we believe in now, we should like to have no doubt about our religion. We should be studying more about it and thinking more about it, don't you think? Yes, so we have no doubt. Mohsin has got the next thing. Could we give Mohsin a loud salawat?
Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ala Muhammad wa'ajil farjahum.
The people first made fun of Prophet Hud. If Allah's preaching brought him only a few followers, when Prophet Hud warned the people of Ahad about the punishment of Allah, they said, then bring down on us what you have threatened, if you are truthful. Holy Quran, Surah Araf, chapter 7, verse 70.
Salawat. Allahumma salli ala
Muhammad wa ala Muhammad wa'ajil farjahum.
Thank you, Mohsin. So now we know even more about this. Miss Mohsin and Hussein, so we know this tribe is not listening now. Would you think they're gonna ask for forgiveness?
No.
If they've gone this far, why would they stop it? That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah.
Do you think they should ask for forgiveness?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Do you think they're being ignorant about this?
Yeah.
And not thinking about what they're doing?
Yeah. They're not thinking what they're doing, and they're thinking that what their forefathers done is right, and not checking that if it's wrong.
And like a new person just came and start telling all this information, and like they're like thinking, what? I never knew this, and like they're just not listening to what he's saying.
They're not listening in full detail. Yeah, you are all right. So Hussein has got the next thing. Could we give Hussein a loud salawat?
Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ala Muhammad wa'ajil farjahum. When the people of Ad invited Allah punishment with their proud words, the rain stopped falling for 3 years. There was a terrible drought. During this time, Prophet Hud told the people to be sorry for their actions and seek the forgiveness of Allah before it was too late. But the people were blind to the truth and continued praying to their idols for rain. Finally, Prophet Hud gave up and said, "You can do what you want. I only depend on Allah, my protector." At last, the punishment of Allah appeared. A large dark cloud came. When the people of Ad saw it, they thought it was going to rain. Instead, houses and No, instead of rain, a strong and terrible wind came down and uprooted their houses and tossed them into the air. Showers of lightning began to come down and strike them. The violent storm continued for 8 days, and by the end of it, the proud people of Ud were totally destroyed. So what?
Allahumma
Salli ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad wa ajil farjahum.
Thank you, Hussein. So now Allah has sent down them a punish for what they've done. So they must have done a really bad stuff, and like Hussein said, they didn't ask for forgiveness. In Prophet Idris's time, remember when we did a show about that, and there was a group of people at that time, they asked for forgiveness, didn't they? Do you remember? They asked for forgiveness, and these people, they still never asked for forgiveness, and they still prayed to their idols when they've given the proof and everything. So that is being stubborn, don't you think? That is being really stubborn.
Yeah.
So you're giving the proof, you're giving the proof that has been slapped into your face, and you're still not listening about it. And you're still not listening. So these people must be ignorant. And Misbah's got the next thing. Could we give Misbah a loud salawat? Allahumma
salli ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad wa ajil farjahum.
The Holy Quran describes this event. And as for Ud, they were destroyed by a roaring violent blast. He made it rage against them for 7 nights and 8 days, uprooting, so you might see the people bowing like the trunks of hollow palm trees. Did you then see of them surviving? Surah Haqq chapter 69 verses 6 to 8.
Say what?
Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad wa ajil farjahum. So we've come up to this point now, and now I'm going to tell you just now, you've got one more thing to say. Yeah. And just now I'm going to tell you that we're going to have a quiz, and you didn't know about this one. You didn't know about this one, did you? So make sure you soak up. So do you remember out of...
I remember all the information.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, while we test you in the quiz, so we've got a few more things left. So Hussein's got the next thing. Could we give him a loud salawat? Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad wa ajil farjahum.
What lesson can we learn from this story? Let's turn back to Surah Fatiha. In it we recite Iyaka na'budu wa iyaka nasta'in, which means only you, Allah, do we worship, and only you do we ask for help. We have to remember this at all times. Let us not forget that it is Allah alone who is worth worshipping, and it is Him who is kind and beneficent. Yet He can also cause misfortune to fall upon us. At the first sign of the storm, Prophet Hud had gathered his followers and family and taken them to a safe place. They were the only survivors of the terrible punishment from Allah. When the storm was over, Prophet Hud took his companions to a place called Hazumut, where they spent the rest of their days. Salawat.
Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad wa ajil farjahum. Okay, now I'll get the quiz that I'm going to be quizzing you on today. So how do you feel from a scale of 1 to 10? How confident do you feel about this quiz?
10.
10.
Say it comes out with 10. Mohsin with 10.
9.
9. Okay. Okay, you know about this quiz, but I'm going to go over the rules again. True or false section, which you only can say true or false to answer your questions. Multiple choice questions, and now you got to and I will say A, B or C. And now what we're going to do, if you what we're going to do in the multiple choice section. If you like try to answer or put your hand up before I say the options, you're going to be disqualified for that question, and you can't say anything for that whole question. And then we get the short answer questions, which you have to answer in a complete sentence. You can't say one word, or you won't get the point. Okay, we'll start with the true or false section. Number 1. The tribe of Ad lived in Makkah. I think that was Hussein.
True.
No, it was.
Is it false?
It's false, but I can't give you that answer now. So now let's be honest. Who was thinking false? Okay, we'll give that point to you, Mohsin. It was false. Do you know which town they?
Saudi Arabia.
Yeah, but like the town.
Oh,
It was
Yemen.
Aqaf.
Oh,
Remember that now. That was the town which they were in. Number 2. The tribe of Ad received many blessings. Hussein?
true.
Yeah, that is true. Number 3. During the first punishment, the tribe of Ad asked for forgiveness. Misbah?
False.
Yeah, that is false, so you've all got 1 point each now. Number 4. Prophet Hud alayhi salam and his family and followers was saved from the punishment. I think that was Hussein.
True.
Yeah, that was true. His family and followers were saved from that punishment. Now we go to the multiple choice answer section, and remember, I've put this new rule in here now, so you can't put your hand up before that. Number 1. What is the name of the tribe of Prophet Hud alayhi salam was sent to? I tried to catch you out there if you were going to put your hands up. Okay, A. Tribe of Nuh. B. The tribe of Ad. C. The tribe of Sumad. I have to go with Misbah for that.
The tribe of Ad.
Yes, B. The tribe of Ad. Number 2. How many people responded to Prophet Hud alayhi salam's teaching? A. They called him a liar and made fun of him. B. They accepted his teachings and became good people. C. They killed him. Hussein?
A.
Yes, A. They called him a liar and made fun of him. So that was really bad, wasn't it? He's trying to preach about his religion and try to get people to come into the right religion, and they're calling him a liar and making fun of him. So Hussein, you've got 2 points. Misbah, you've got 2 points, and Mohsin, you got 1 point. Mohsin, you need to catch up. Number 3 in the multiple choice answer section. What did the people say after Prophet Hud alayhi salam warned them of the punishment of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala?
I'm yawning.
A. They called him a liar and made A. They asked him for forgiveness. B. They ran away as quickly as they could. C. They proudly told Prophet Hud alayhi salam to call Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's punishment.
I can't remember.
Misbah?
C.
Yes, that's the right answer. They proudly told Prophet Hud alayhi salam to call Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala punishment. So they must be really ignorant people to say that. They probably thinking in their minds that they don't think that God could destroy them. Yeah, and they say, oh, bring on the punishment.
They didn't even believe in Allah.
Yeah, they didn't.
They still didn't want to believe in it and wanted to see if she's telling the truth.
Yeah. Okay, number 4, and this is the last question of the multiple choice answer section. Why was the tribe of Ad destroyed? A. Because they became too proud and did not want to believe and trust in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. B. Because their idols destroyed them. C. Because they killed Prophet Hud alayhi salam. Mohsin.
A.
Yes, you're right.
Lucky.
So how much? You've got 2?
2.
3,
Two.
2. Oh,
Okay, I gotta step up my game now,
yeah, you're in the lead. So last week Hussein won.
as always.
So
No.
so let's see if Misbah or Mohsin wins this quiz. So this is the last section. We've got the short answer question section. And number 1, why was Prophet Hud alayhi salam sent to the tribe of Ad? Hussein?
Because they didn't believe in, they didn't believe that Allah was there. They just believed in their idols. They didn't worship Him.
Yeah, I'll give you the point for that. Allah sent Prophet Hud to the tribe because they were quite. Allah was giving them blessings and giving them.
They wasn't worshipping Him.
Yeah, they weren't worshipping Him while Allah was giving them blessings, and they didn't worship Him. And there was few ignorant people which He wanted to, like, tell them like to go on the right path. Okay, number 2, how were the people of Ad punished? I'm gonna say Mohsin.
They're punished. They're punished firstly by a drought, and then Allah sent a windy and lightning storm.
And how long did that last for?
About 3 years.
No.
The drought lasted for.
7 nights and 8 days.
It was for 8 days. So I'll give him the point for that. The drought was for how many years? Saying?
3.
Yeah, the drought was for 3 years, and don't get the point for that. Sorry.
Why don't I get bonus?
Okay, so the drought was for 3 years, and then for 8 days after that he sent wind and thunderstorm, and which abolished the people of Ad. So Mohsin, you've got 3 points. Hussein's got 3 points, and Misbah 3 points. Okay, so there's 2 more questions left. Ooh.
2. Oh.
So
It means that it could be joint.
It could
yeah,
be
it
joint.
could be joint. Yeah, it could be
Because it
joint.
could go 4-4.
Okay, but okay, number 3. What does? Wait. I got. Okay, I've got to do this question. Number 3. Number 3. What lesson can we learn from this story, and how? Shane?
That we should and always worship Allah, because He's the only one worth worshipping, and plus whenever we're in trouble we should go to Him for help.
Yeah, that's right. So that is
4, 3.
3. I'm just seeing for this next question here, and we might not be able to do this question because I think there's an error in this question. So Hussein might be win.
Read it and we'll see.
That was a little bit error in that question. So for one more. For one more point, so we make it even, I'm going to make up the question right now. What do you think, Hussein said already what we learned from this story, and how can we this is a really hard question, and how can we implement this kind of story? How can we think and translate it and put it into our life? Hussein?
Because if you're doing something that just because your forefathers or your father had done it and you're believing it is right, even though you've made a mistake, and maybe you haven't noticed it, maybe you have, but you're still continuing with it, you can relate to that story, because they sort of forgot that Allah was there, and they just did what their forefathers told them to, and what their forefathers did. So you need to just stop for a moment and look around and just see what are you doing, look at a different
Yes,
perspective.
that is an amazing answer, and A star for that. That was a good answer. So Hussein has 5 points, and Mohsin and Misbah with 3 points in joint second. So you did very well today on today's show. Hussein was the winner of this quiz, but remember you're all winners. And as well, thank you for joining me on today's show. You had a good time on today's show?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was. Thank you for joining me on today's show. I hope you come next week, and I hope you be watching. Stay tuned next week, same time, same place on Hidayat TV. But until then, good Hafiz.
The office.
Hafiz.